Sometimes we need a cozy, feel-good book that, like a warm hug, reminds us that the world isn't so bad. Other times, we need a book full of drama. We want to watch somebody who is having a worse time than us, is a bigger mess than us, and yet somehow manages to forge a path through the darkness and move toward healing. These books are the second kind. My name is Yona. I'm a librarian at Field Teen Center, and these are some of my favorite books with messy protagonists. First is We Weren't Looking to Be Found by Stephanie Kuhn. It's about two teens of color who end up at an outpatient facility for troubled girls. One of the protagonists has a history of self-harm and has made a suicide attempt. The other has a substance abuse problem, and despite her charm, it's gotten her into trouble. This one is for readers who want to see the dark, gritty side of substance abuse and depression, and who also want to see an unlikely friendship arise out of two teens who want nothing to do with each other and don't even want to be where they are. Some stories that tackle these tough themes try to sugarcoat things or just don't sound realistic. The dialogue is bad, the teens don't feel like real people. This book is not that. The dialogue is really well written, they all felt like real people to me, and they're really going through it. The next book is Bad Witch Burning by Jessica Lewis. This is a horror fantasy book about a girl who discovers that she can raise bodies from the ground and more or less make them alive. And she does this for pay because she's in a pretty desperate financial situation. Unfortunately, this kind of magic comes with some big costs, not just because zombies, but also because it takes a toll on her body. This story has a lot of twists and turns that should keep you on the edge of your seat. Next is The Sea is Salt and So Am I by Cassandra Hart. This one is so much drama. It's got a love triangle, it has environmental problems. The story starts when one of the three main characters makes a suicide attempt, and it definitely doesn't end there because one of the other main characters starts a secret relationship with him and is lying to his brother about it, which is super awkward because she used to like him, and because the brother has a prosthetic leg, and she's always thought deep down that the accident that caused him to lose his leg is her fault. This book is also one of very few books I've seen for teens that talks about environmental issues because the town that the three of them live in is slowly being eroded as the sea level rises. So there's also drama between some local environmental groups and the main characters. It's just drama all the way down. And again, this is one of those stories where it could have been really saccharine and over the top and melodramatic, but they just feel like real people and you hurt for all of them because they are each making such a big mess. Like just one of them doing the stuff that they're doing would be plenty, but really all three of them are just digging down into it and burying themselves in such a hole. So if you want to get your feelings hurt, read this book. I also recommend No Filter and Other Lies by Crystal Maldonado. It's about a bisexual Latina photographer who just wants to get some attention for her Instagram. And she realizes that she can get this attention and more by posting pictures as if she is her coworker and friend who she's taken some photos of. And this friend is really pretty in a way that the protagonist feels like she's not. And it turns out that while posing as her friend, she gets to start talking to her online crush and gets her attention as well for the first time. And as you can imagine, posing as somebody else on the internet has some really nasty consequences for her. This book is pretty savage and unpacks our relationship with social media and likes in a way that I found really interesting and relevant, because who hasn't been caught in the trap of doing ridiculous things to try to get more likes? Next up is On the Other Side of Perfect by Mariko Turk, which is about a former ballerina who, because of a leg injury, can't be a ballerina anymore and has to figure out something else to do. This book features one of the sweetest, most lovable love interests that I've seen in any YA book, and a protagonist who is just having a hard time liking herself or being likable. In a really relatable way, she does some terrible stuff and is just a jerk. Nevertheless, you end up really rooting for her. The book talks about racism, the healing power of theater, and the importance of giving something a try. Last but not least is Ever Since by Elena Brusas. This book is pretty intense because it's about sexual assault, and it showcases how traumatic events like sexual assault can cause the survivors to kind of self-destruct. The main character is not taking care of herself at all, and she's starting to fall in love with her friend's boyfriend, and the drama just spirals and spirals. This book is really well written, and I also thought it was a really nice roadmap for indications that somebody might be a survivor or have suffered some other kind of trauma. So if these aren't triggers for you, this book is definitely worth reading, and it was really, really engaging. If you're looking for more book recommendations or just want to say hi, get in touch with us because we'd love to hear from you. You can DM us on Instagram, you can email us, and of course you can visit us in person at Field Teen Center. We're located on the ground floor of Parkway Central Library at 1901 Vine Street. And for the most up-to-date information about our hours and special events, check our website. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you find something great to read.